so sad. Oh, come in, come in. Greetings. Yeah. Welcome, young traveler. So, what brings you here to my little place? Oh, you just saw the sign. That's okay. You can take a look around. See if you like anything of my babies. Oh, this one? You were wondering what this one is? Well, this is a little special plant that I am just starting to cultivate. I haven't introduced it to the new ecosystem, so we'll see if it will survive this climate. So, did you find anything that you want? Oh, no. Well, that's too bad. All my babies are very well taken care of, so quite easy to grow. How about I read your cards for you while you think about what you want to buy? Yeah? Okay. Shall we read your cards? I understand you just read Little Women, no? Yeah. Quite a cute novel, no? Really written by Louisa May Alcott during the Civil War era. So, are you curious which ones of the characters you might be able to relate to? No? Sure. I want you to pick one of these. Really? Oh, my nails! Yeah. Quite pretty, no? Which one? The second one? This one? Okay. So, you picked this card. So this is Margaret March, the oldest of the March sisters. Yeah, at the beginning of the story she was only 16. Yeah, she looks pretty now. She's also the kindest and the most tender of them. First, they didn't have that much money. Yeah, their father just lost their fortune, and he was working as a pastor in the Union Army that leaves Mrs. March and the March girls in their house all alone. So Meg decided to work for her family together with her other sisters. So Meg is the kindest, the one who would take care of you if you're sick. She's that kind of sister. She's really kind, but she also dreams of having a rich Prince Charming like husband, you know, because she's tired of repairing and mending clothes. She wants to have that princess kind of fairy tale ending, which she did in a way. I think Meg matured beautifully in the story. She used to be that kind of sister that wants to wear the pretty things. She wants to makisabay to her rich friends, you know, always wearing the fancy clothes, pretending to be able to afford things, but she clearly couldn't. They couldn't really. Wasn't content with her life. But at the end of the story, with her married life with Mr. John Brooke, Laurie's tutor, they married. They had twins. She became this mature, content mother, no? At the end of the story, she became stable in their married life. So, yeah. Of course, being married, there are many problems to that. No, they often fight. They have miscommunication, but through their love and compromise, Meg March and her husband managed to keep their relationship intact. Yeah, so this is Meg March. You don't think you're like Meg March? That's okay. Yeah. I mean, we all have our own experiences that makes us relate to certain characters. So my experience might be different from yours, so there's no judgment in that. Anyway, should we pick another card? Yeah? Okay. Which one do you want? Another pink card. Okay, that's okay. Pick them for you. There we go. You can see the moon and some plants because I'm a flower witch, of course. So you pick. Ta-da! It says here, I like good strong words that mean something. Josephine March. At the beginning of the story, she was only 15 years old. She's one of the free spirits in the story, you know, the rebellious kind, the rebel kind, the rebel sister. Not in a bad way, but it rebel in a way that she doesn't conform to the society at the time, you know. Their society at the time believes that women should only be kept at home, you know, only doing lazy things like cooking and cleaning and putting family first and all that. But Josephine March doesn't believe in that, you know. She dreams of being a writer, you know, one of those she's one of those characters that a strong independent character that wants to follow her own path and not the path that was made for her by society. She wants to be a writer so that she can support her family, you know. She is the second oldest, so together with Meg March, they work the odd jobs to kind of support their family in a way, try to contribute to the bills and all that. At the beginning of the story, she's one of those girls that she doesn't like the pink freely girly stuff. She hates them. At the end of the story, she embraced herself. At the same time, she embraced other people's selves. She doesn't look down upon them anymore. Jo March, she learned to accept other people's limitations as well as accept her own limitations. And at the end of the book, she defined this is society's conformity. She defined convention. She published, she worked, she dreamed, and she said to all those people that women are below men, like, no, I'm not below any man. Also, at the end of the book, she married a professor, a German professor, Mr. Bayer. Which was not the ending that Louisa May Alcott intended for our character Jo March, but we'll be spilling the tea later about that. So this is Jo March, the free-spirited rebel March girl who grew into her own skin and decided she wanted to achieve her dreams. So yeah. Do you think you're more like Jo March? No? That's okay. So, shall we pick another card for you? Let's pick a card. Oh, my rings. You like them? Oh, thank you. They're huge with power and they came from my suitors. So you picked the blue card. You picked Miss Amy March. So this is Amy Curtis March. So she said, I'd rather take coffee than compliments from you. So 2020, am I right? So Amy March, she is the youngest of the family at age 12 at the beginning of the story. Like Jo, she also has dreams. You know, she dreams of being an artist. Amy wants to be a painter. So some people, when they read the book, they perceive Amy as someone selfish. But she was young, you know, she was only 12. Meg and Jo, which were the oldest of the family and were already working, you know, to make ends meet. Amy was the youngest, so she might have been sheltered from the reality of the situation of how poor they are, because she's young, she's prone to temper tantrums. Like, she throws them, she pouts, she burned Jo's manuscript just because they didn't bring her to the theater. Also prone to vanity, like Meg. And Amy, she wants the fine things in life. She wants to be perceived as elegant because she thinks that women should be elegant in order to marry well. So should be able to support her family in a way, because at their time, women can't have jobs, you know. They aren't like us, like me, who has her own little plant shop, who has her own career as a witch, like me. But them, and Louisa May Alcott wrote her story, women can't have jobs, you know, they can't have their own money. Uh, if they came from a rich family and married, what their properties would become the property of their husbands. Uh, their sons would inherit the property of the family, but girls, daughters, they can't inherit money. They can't inherit property. They can't own property. So Amy, in her young mind, she already figured out na, I need to marry rich so I would be able to support my family in a way, you know. The same way us Filipinos, we support our families when they need it, we send money. That's the kind of attitude that Amy has. So she grows into that, you know. She becomes this elegant young woman who knows how to play the social games. And she did marry rich, you know. She fell in love and she married rich. So she was in her way, she was able to achieve her own dreams. Do you like Amy March? Okay, I'll let you think about that. So let's pick another card. Oh, about my rings. Oh yes, I did tell you I was gonna tell you about them. So I got these rings from my suitors, like I said, and then they told me, can we visit you? Can we go there? Can we hang out? And then I said, like, no, there's a global pandemic happening right now. You can't visit me, you can't go outside. So I told them, no, just send me gifts. And they did. Trulala move. So, you there, stay at home. Don't go outside if you don't need to. There's a global pandemic happening. My God. Anyway, pick a card. Pick your next card. Okay. So you pick Miss Beth March. This one. Say hello to Beth March. Elizabeth March. And she said, smell sweet and blossom in the dust. Pretty, no? She's the second youngest of the family after Jo March. She was 13 at the beginning of the story. She's the delicate... Oh, I'm so sorry, wait. Excuse me. My plants need a little love. I made this potion just for them. They need a little love. Okay. She's happy. This is MAC Cosmetics, because she has those little red dots. This one is Sunny's lipstick. Anyway, Elizabeth March. This young lady. She was 13 at the start of the book, and she's the delicate, timid one, the shy one. She's introverted, but she's also artistic in her own way. She plays the piano. In a family where there are very loud personalities, like Meg, the beautiful social butterfly kind of lady, Jo March, the free-spirited, and Amy, the elegant, loud girl. Beth March is the quiet one, you know. She is the peacemaker of the family. She just wants everybody to be happy and friendly. She got scarlet fever from their neighbors, the Hummels, and she at first she survived that, but due to complications of the disease, she grew weak and sickly, and later on those complications caused her death. So that, yeah, sadly, her death largely affected Joe. Well, it affected the entire family, but it largely affected Joe. It reminded Joe that nothing is permanent, and that in turn made Joe value her family more, value her sisters more. So we're all sorry she died, but because of her death, Amy found Laurie. They found each other. She learned the death of Beth. She was so sad and heartbroken, and Laurie, who was also in Europe at the time, consoled her. So they found friendship among each other, they fell in love, they married, and Amy got her happy ending, which is kind of sad because Amy got her happy ending when Beth died. But such is life. So, do you think you're like Beth, the quiet one in the family? No? No. That's okay. Okay, pick your next card. You pick Mrs. March or Marmee. The girls call her Marmee, and she said, "There is always light behind the clouds." Such a nice word from Marmee. Marmee or Mrs. March is not the conventional kind of mother, encourages her children's play, her children's ambitions, her children's dream, but she's the one who made the girls donate their food to their poor neighbor, the Hummels. She's like a role model for them, teaches them lessons. She teaches them the lessons of hard work, especially in their family when they really have to work hard with Mr. March away from the family. But she also, at the same time, she's not like the nagging kind of mom. What they learned from Marmee, the March girls, they used it in their life, in their adult lives. I also like the conversation of Marmee and Joe March at the movie, the 2019 version, where Marmee was asking Joe March about her feelings, to Laurie. I like that conversation. You should watch the film. Definitely watch the film. So I think perfect balance of being a mother and also being a companion to the March girls. So yeah, that's Marmee. Do you think you like Marmee? Well, I like Marmee. So we're down to the last two cards. Yes, you pick Laurie. Theodore Lawrence. Laurie. As the girls call him, Laurie. Laurie is their rich neighbor, the grandson of Mr. Lawrence, the one who lent the piano to Beth, is the grandson. He's also the tutti of Mr. John Brooke, Meg's future husband. He became like a friend and a brother to the March girls. They played, they made plays, they ran, they had adventures and all that. He's charming, he has a good heart, and he also fell in love with Joe. But at the time, Joe didn't want companionship. She doesn't like the idea of commitment of marriage. So when Laurie said that he likes Joe ran away. She said like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. So she went to New York, and there she eventually met Mr. Bayer, the German professor that Joe would marry. But anyway, Laurie is a kind of guy, that you'd want to be a friend, because he's not so manly. He's not like that. He's more effeminate. He's more in touch with his feminine side, which is not bad. He music. He likes the art, where men at the time are being taught business. Laurie likes music. He likes soft things. He's like that. Isn't super toxic male. He's not like that. He likes feminine things, which doesn't make him gay. And also, there's nothing wrong with being gay, and nothing wrong with being a soft man, a soft feminine, effeminate man. So there's nothing wrong with all of that. But Laurie at the time defies convention. You know, in a world where men are thought business, where men are thought to be hard, men are thought to be unpliable, we have this character Laurie, which is soft, which is more in touch with the female side, which is, I think, a perfect companion, a perfect friend for the March girls. So I used to ship him with Joe, you know, like we all did. We all thought they'd marry, but no. But I think it makes sense that he and Amy got together in the end. You know, if you read the book, if you watch the film, you'll know why. Please watch the film. Do you think you're like Laurie, or do you think you relate to Laurie? No? Okay, that's okay. Do you like any of those characters? Well, that's okay. I have a special card for you. It's you! If you find any characteristics or analysis that I may have not mentioned, it's up to you to tell us about it. Simply take note of this, your analysis, your observations, write them down, and tell us on our next discussion. I hope you learned something from our characters, from the characters of the Little Women. Now, how about I tell you my analysis of the movie? So, shall we? I spilled the tea. I will spill the tea. So, as we know, Little Women was written by Louisa May Alcott. So, Little Women was written almost 150 years ago, but we can still it's still relatable. We can still get values and lessons from it even up till now. It was written, it was loosely based by the life of Louisa May Alcott, who also has sisters, who also lived poorly, and who also, like Joe, aspired to be a successful writer. Louisa originally intended to have Joe be unmarried but be successful in her writing career. Because of capitalism, I'm just kidding. Her publishers said that, you know, we can't sell this. Her publishers, the Roberts brothers, they said, we can't sell a book with the main protagonist that isn't married, that isn't normal, that isn't the norm of our society. And so they asked, I'm so sorry about the children. If I had my way, I would be cooking them right now, a la Hansel and Gretel. But alas, I'm a plant witch. I can't. Anyway, the Roberts brothers wanted Joe married, so Louisa had her married to another character, which was Mr. Bayer. So Louisa at the time thought that little ladies, little kids, little girls can get something from reading a novel like this, you know, because if we look at it right now, this kind of books, you know, they wouldn't sell. I think the public wouldn't like it, you know, because it's just mostly about little girls growing up, you know. It's a coming of age novel, which is essentially about them coming into age, about them growing up, about the hardships and basically their lives, you know. Nowadays we like novels that are about dystopia, utopia. We like novels, fantasy novels. We like books with interesting, intriguing topics, out of this world topics. But for Louisa, for Alcott at the time, she thought that maybe simple books is needed because they just came from war, they just came from civil war. So she thought maybe little girls needed something simple, something like a breath of fresh air, something like that, which they did. It became successful. But at the same time, it's not just about a book about girls growing up, you know. If you think about it, it's kind of a progressive novel for its time, you know. Because like I said, during in their society, even sometimes now, but in their society there are constraints on women, like women can't do this, women can only do this. But Alcott, through her character Jo, she cuts through all that. Like she used Jo to tell people like, no, women can have their own dreams. Women can be successful in their career too. Women can be more than what society expected them to be, you know? So if we think about it, like really think about it, if we add the context of Louisa, of her life, that she wrote this at a time post-war, that she wrote it with men stopping her creative license. So I think Louisa Alcott, she didn't just write a book about girls growing up. She also wrote a book about women defying conventions, and in a way, she wrote women who are more than just one facet of a character, you know. We are so used to characters, to heroines being like strong independent women, I can do this alone, I don't need any man, like Katniss Everdeen or Tris Prior, characters like that. But she also wrote about women who like girly things, who like soft feminine things. She wrote about mean girls who are aggressive, like Amy. She wrote about soft-spoken, gentle, like Beth. She wrote about a girl who wants marriage because she wants marriage, that's it. She wrote all these kinds of girls, all these kinds of women who aren't just one strong independent character, and she made us love them. She made these characters achieve their dreams, you know. We're so used to media portraying women should be strong, independent, you know. I don't need any man, Wonder Woman, that kind of characters. And we think that in order to be strong, in order to defy conventions, in order to succeed, we have to be that kind of woman. We have to be the boss babe, you know, the boss bitch. We might have thought that Meg is just a simple woman who wants marriage, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have any dreams for her own. But that's it. That's her dream. She wants to get married. She wants to have a family of her own. And who are we to judge, you know? Who are we to belittle these women's dreams? In her book, she showed us that she made us realize that there are so many ways in order to succeed, in order to achieve our dreams. There are so many ways to be a female, to be a woman, you know? It's not just one-sided. It's not just, you don't always have to be strong and unbreakable and independent. We can also be feminine and more pink and like girly stuff. And both of those are equally valid ways of being a woman. You know, those are equally important. Those are equally entitled. Those kinds of women, they're equally entitled in achieving their own dreams. You know, we don't have to always support that one strong character. We don't always have to relate ourselves, associate ourselves to that character who always defies conventions like Jo. But we can also support characters like Meg, You know, Meg who only wants the simple content life. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You can be whatever kind of sort of woman you want to be, and that's still valid. There's no one way of being a woman. And Louisa, in her novel, Little Women, she showed us that. So, that's my take on the Little Women. What's yours? Tell me about it. So, I'll see you soon. Okay.